Hopefully you guys can hear me. I got a phone call, and every time I get a phone call, it screws around with my thing, but it's never had me muted. So, thanks for rejoining me, and apologies for the tech issues. Just part of the game here. So the where I left off before I was interrupted was I was talking about how avoidant attachment is kind of a huge thing right now, and part of this is because a lot of the people out there are lacking the confidence. Their personal power is low, and so you've got a lot of this really beautiful. It's more of a feminine energy of empathy, of being in service to others, and having that certitude about their life. And then there's this like fear of being seen, and I think a lot of that has to do with social media and social media's impact on everybody. So okay, so we were talking about avoiding opportunities and self-sabotaging, and I was showing different tools and ways or techniques that I would do in order to help you kind of get out of that avoidance and into accepting your value and your worth. Okay. Then number 6 is comparing themselves and feeling not enough. Whew. So I mean, all of these things are tying into this imposter. And so these people believe that they have to be successful or talented or maybe beautiful as others in order to feel worthy. Thank you. Yeah. I don't know what happened. Every time I have a phone call, it always like messes with everything. But I'm glad to have you back. So these people think that they have to be at a certain success level, that they have to be beautiful, or that they have to be talented just as much as others in order to feel worthy. And there's a lady, I think her name is Anna Christina, if I'm remembering correctly, and she has this thought process she does a black cat golden retriever for relationships. It's kind of a relationship coach. And she she showcases how women who should be in this black cat energy, where they're the prize for the men, that the women will kind of reverse that, and then they'll kind of treat the men as the prize. And hi, everybody. Thank you for joining. So she has this like, she was showing, I think it was Kylie Jenner and Timothy Chalamet. I think that's how you say his name. But their relationship, I was just watching it last night. Kylie was kind of being the golden retriever in the relationship, and part of that, she was showing how the woman that is Kylie, she was kind of comparing herself to this former girlfriend. Please show your love story. I don't have any love stories. Hello, everybody. But she was showing like how she had changed, and so she's comparing herself to this former girlfriend. And I feel like a lot of women who don't have a really high value of themselves are going to be comparing themselves to other women, and it's because they don't see that value in themselves. So as as humans, we're all kind of mirroring each other. So in my world, how I kind of mitigate everything that I'm going through is I look at how am I relating to whomever a person is in my field. So let's say that I feel angry or upset about some situation that's going on in my life. The I am not going to attack that other person because of my emotion. That is a low level of awareness. And so there's this comparison situation where you're mirroring and you're like, what about this person? Why am I feeling this way about this situation? And so have that, when you have that feeling, then you want to see why. So, for example, a couple weeks ago, I got really upset at with somebody, and I was like, why am I so upset about this? And the reason is the person that I was dealing with had a lot of confidence and was able to speak about themselves. Please shoe your full dress. Not right now. So, because of my awareness, I was able to identify that the relationship that I was having was not that I was upset at him. It was I was upset at myself for not being able to speak my piece and say, I want this. And it was a silly thing, but it was it was so relevant of this mirroring that we want to that we have happen every day in our lives. So if you're feeling a certain way about somebody or you're feeling a certain emotion, really look at it and like turn it into yourself of why am I feeling this way? What is this situation telling me? And a lot of the times you'll start to pinpoint certain areas of your life that you can start to correct. So the people that are comparing themselves and not feeling like they're not enough, they also dismiss their unique strengths. So everybody has these unique abilities and these unique strengths. And when we're comparing ourselves to others, we don't feel like we're measuring up. We don't feel that we are competent or that we're successful. And so to work on correcting this, we want to reframe the comparison. These are not my real nails. We want to reframe the comparison of, and it's kind of like we did the rewriting the story of that worst case scenario. We want to shift the focus and, like I was saying, that mirror, you want it to come back. So now, if I look at a woman, I'm not comparing myself to her beauty or to her success or to anything about her. If I feel a certain way, if I see a woman and I'm like, that woman is so beautiful, it's it's just mirroring that back to me. Like I'm seeing her beauty, and I am doing these. I did a confidence reel, so there's a 3-part reel that I was working on. And, one of them is that we are all beautiful in one way or another. And it's finding that beauty. And a lot of it comes from this energy. And I teach on this of our bodies are just a small percentage of our actual holistic body. And that's why I named my podcast and my business Soulestic Intelligence, is from a soul to our body. Like there's all these messages. And so, my goal is to create a higher awareness with people of where they are at. So if you see people and let's say you're standing in the grocery store and you say something you see a beautiful woman or whatever, you see somebody that is dressed really nice and you say just a kind thing to them of, you look really beautiful. I love your earrings, or you look really handsome. Like you're dressed really well, or whatever the compliment can be. And you're putting yourself out there of, you're not comparing yourself. You're you're seeing just certain. I remember this one time. I think I was in some coffee shop and there was this woman that came in and I was just like, this woman is just gorgeous. And she was a little older, and, even like the wrinkles, the smile lines in her face, and just the way that she dressed and the way she did her hair, I was just like, you are so gorgeous. And I just said that. Like, that's all I needed to say. And I was just feeling really good that day, anyways. And so just saying that, like, she may have been having a bad day, but it lit her up. So but that was because I saw that in myself. Like, I am gorgeous. I, feel really good. And as I age through life and find that grace of aging, even that in itself is like a beautiful thing. And it makes it's I'm trying to quantify this and make it so it sounds edible, I guess, is that as you clean up your energy, you become more magnetic and beautiful. And so instead of comparing yourself to others, it's really identifying these beautiful things about yourself that that you can really admire. So we're really looking at reframing instead of comparing yourself and trying to mimic somebody else's style, is really reframing that of how am I going to author my life. So in before the podcast was whatever happened to it, I was talking about how reframing these stories is really important. So instead of like looking for external validation, we're really working on reframing that inner worth voice, that inner validation of I am enough, I am successful, I am beautiful, I am talented, and I am worth achieving my goals. So this can be a somewhat difficult task, but with the proper guidance, you can definitely get to there. Okay. See, we're at 12. So I have a meeting in half an hour, and I still need to go break my fast. But I want to talk about just a couple techniques to help correct and to help you guys. So one thing that you could do are mirror affirmations, and this is just, you can write down things and put them on a note, a little sticky pad, and put them on the mirror in your bathroom